Peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before I start building on the subject matter for the day. Got about an hour to get this little stuff that I have on my chest off my chest, man. So hopefully y'all got about an hour to tap in, man. Just listen to what I have to say and potentially add your input and all that good stuff, man. So how everybody feeling on this wonderful Thursday? What's the word, man? How y'all living? How y'all holding up out here? On this wonderful Thursday, man, y'all talk to me before I start talking to y'all because this is one of those topics where I may go in, man. I saw something earlier today and it just kind of sparked or motivated or inspired this particular stream, man. So I'm gonna have to do some going in. Young Moolah, peace. What's the word? What's happening? How you living? Magic Realms, peace. What's the word? How you living? How you feeling? How we holding up out here? Armand, peace, peace. What's happening with you? What's the word, man? Hopefully y'all being healthy out here, making wise decisions, moving wisely, all that good stuff. Anthony, peace. What's going on? Dominic, peace. What's happening? Oh, yeah, for sure, man. As y'all may know or may not know, you know what I'm saying? YouTube removed another one of my videos, man. It's like third or fourth video that they took down, man. And they didn't give me a strike for this video. So I know they playing with me. At any given time, they want to take me off of this joint, they can. Because they removed the video that I did some months ago. So I know they just waiting. You know what I'm saying? They just waiting. They waiting for me to get to a certain point and they gonna hit me with all type of whammies, man. So I already know what's going on. They removed the video that I did months ago. Man, I forgot I did this video. And I look up and they removed the video. Just Youre, Sweet Tea, Peach Queens, what's happening? Airview, peace, what's the word? So yeah, YouTube on that funny business, man. They removed the video I did months ago. Don't do me like that, man. If you're going to remove something, remove it instantly. Y'all already know what the video was about. Got hit with the medical misinformation again. Anais, Peace Queen, what's happening? Anthony, there we go. Everything is peace. Everything's centered and balanced. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. So, yeah, YouTube playing them games with me. But, again, I expected that. So, it's all good. It's all good. We're not gonna let that rock the mission, man, rock the purpose, man. It's all good, man. But they being a little petty, man, because that was petty at the end of the day. Mo Ease. Oh, yeah. Listen, in about another 30 seconds or so, I'm gonna go in on this particular topic. Everybody is a victim out here, man. I didn't realize, listen, it's just crazy. People are definitely using mental health and depression as a crutch these days, man. I'm telling you. It is very common to hear somebody swear up and down that they dealing with depression and they talking about mental health to the point now where it's like, I ain't even taking half these people seriously. As sad and harsh as it may sound, people using it as a crutch, most definitely. People using this stuff as a crutch, most definitely. And then one thing I noticed too, and this is something that people may not have thought about, but a lot of times, man, hold on, let me see. RBG, peace, what's happening? Okay, you got some time. Hey, I appreciate you having the time to tap in. I appreciate you having the time. But this another thing too, that I don't like when people do this right here. You know what I'm saying? The spectators, the people that's on the outside. Let's say you got somebody that you know that's dealing with some severe depression, and suicide and things along those lines. Let's just say that's something that they dealing with, and then they follow through with it. You know what I'm saying? They follow through it and they end up taking their own life, things along those lines. What tends to happen is you have people that's on the outside looking in, Facebook, social media, all these type of things. They start making disrespectful and ignorant comments. They start saying things like, oh, they was displaying all warnings on their Facebook, on their social media. People they must obviously didn't care about the person or didn't care enough to help the person. That's got to stop. That's an ignorant statement. First of all, you taking things on Facebook value. You don't know who all tried to reach out to that person. You don't know who tried to reach out to that person that was talking crazy on Facebook and then ended up following through with it. You don't know who all tried to tap in with that person. I have had experience with this particular type of situation. And a lot of times when that person has it in their mind that they about to go through with it, there is nothing that you can say. There is nothing that you can say. So what people need to stop doing, because look, that's human nature. So if you got a family member or a friend that goes through with something like that and they take their life, you automatically, like, it's in your nature to feel guilty, feel like you could have did more for that person. So what we don't need is people on the outside saying, oh, well, people must didn't care about, and they was displaying all type of signs. Don't do that. That's disrespectful, man. You do not know the type of love that person was receiving. You don't know the type of people. You don't know what the people that's in their life was saying or talking to them about at that particular point in time. You do not know what was going on. They could have had plenty of people trying to talk them out of that situation. They could have had plenty of people showing them love. And a lot of times that do be the case. It's just that person that allowed that depression to severely consume them, and they have made a decision to go through with it. There is nothing that you really could tell a person like that. I'm telling you. There is nothing. As harsh as that may sound, when that person has it made up in their mind that they gonna do it, they're gonna do it 99% of the time. 99% of the time. So what I'm not about to do is feel guilty. I should have said this. I could have reached out to him more. First of all, listen, somebody else's mental health is not your responsibility. We all going through our situations, man. We all going through a struggle. We all battling our demons. So I don't have time to listen. I don't have all the time in the world to sit here and try to identify other people's demons and problems and then solve them and save them. How we out here expected to save other people when we struggling to save ourselves? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Yes, it's harsh. Yes, it's sad. It's devastating when something like that happens, but that's not my responsibility. And you're not about to push that responsibility on family members and friends. You're not about to do that. You're not about to have the whole family and their whole circle of friends feeling guilty because they wasn't analyzing and inspecting every Facebook post that a person posted up until that time when they decided to go through with that act. That's not my fault. That's not their cousin's fault. That's not their mother's fault. It's not anybody else's fault. We always like to play the blame game. We always like to point fingers. No, we're not about to do that. You know what I'm saying? If I'm talking crazy and I follow through with something like that, man, it's nobody's fault. That's something I decided to do. That is a choice. It's something I decided to do. Something that I decided to do. Listen, and people think that this is ignorant. No, I'm speaking from experience. I watched this. I know people that then received all type of love still follow through with this. Still follow through with it. I know. I've seen it. I've seen it. Well, a person know that they got a ton of love, man, from family members and friends, man, and people have told them that. People done told them that they need to be here. People done told them this, and they still follow through with it because at the end of the day, we know this just from things outside of this particular subject matter. When a person has something set in their mind that they are going to do, guess what? 99% of the time, they are going to do it. When somebody has their mind made up to follow through with something, more than likely, they are going to follow through with it, no matter what you are sitting there telling them. That is the way of the world. That's the way of the world. It's almost like when I'm giving out nutrition advice and I'm trying to tell people, hey, you need to stop eating X, Y, and Z because it essentially can lead to a heart attack. It can essentially lead to heart disease or cancer. And that person hear what I'm saying, like, yeah, I hear you, but they still decide to make the bad decisions to eat the food that's killing them. That's a form of suicide. But I'm not about to feel guilty. So when that person does come out with some cancer or some type of heart condition, and they may end up dying from it, I'm not about to feel guilty. Like, man, maybe I should have been on them a little harder. Man, that's not my responsibility. I gave them the information initially, and they chose what to do with that information. They chose to do what they wanted to do with that information, which was nothing at all. So when something happens to them, I'm not going to feel guilty. I'm not going to feel bad. I'm not going to feel like I could have done more. No, I did my duty. It's not my duty to babysit. It's not my duty to sit here and try to save somebody else. I got to save myself. I got to save myself. I got to save myself, man. It's hard. People don't understand. We are expecting people to be able to identify signs. Man, people got a lot of things going on in life. You know what I'm saying? People got a lot of things going on in life. So you are doing a disservice to the people that are connected to the person that committed that act, and you are acting as if they have nothing else in life going on. It's easy to be distracted in regards to identifying the signs in another person in regards to a situation like that. Like, come on now. Come on now. I got my own things I got to worry about, man. So, man, life may be getting the best of me. I may be stressed out. Excuse me if I'm not able to identify all the signs in the next person. Excuse me. I may be distracted. I may have my own situations that I got to tend to and deal with. Like, at the end of the day, man, that's what it is. Air view. And I'm gonna give you the jewel on that. You say it's definitely not anyone's fault, but where I'm from, there's a man who has talked at least hundreds of people from jumping off a bridge. I'm gonna tell you one thing: that man didn't do it. It was them. It was, at the end of the day, it was still those people, because at the end of the day, guess what? They had to receive what it was that person was telling them. Because, like I'm saying, even the people that's committing the acts and they get on Facebook and let you know what they about to do, I guarantee you, days leading up to that, they had people in their life that was telling them how much they loved them, how much they need them. Matter of fact, some of these people have little children. Some of these people have little children that are dependent upon them. If you look at that little child and that ain't enough for you to stick around, then again, you've got your mind made up. You making that decision. So even when it's a person that supposedly or allegedly talked you off of jumping off that cliff, man, you still made the decision to listen to what that person had to say. And you internalized it and you made a decision. You made a decision. At the end of the day, it revolves around decisions. I'm just talking about responsibility. It's not the responsibility of another person to look out for you in that regards, because other people have things going on. So we can't expect that. Nor should we expect that. We can't expect that, nor should we expect that, because again, I've seen plenty of situations where we're not talking about jumping off of a bridge, but we're talking about committing the act and people communicating that to family members and friends. And the family members and friends then let them know, don't do it, then show them why they shouldn't do it. Basically showing the love, they still follow through with it. They still follow through with it. Because again, it all revolves around the person and how they feeling internally. It all revolves around a person. It revolves around how that person is feeling eternally. Just like I said, in regards to nutrition advice. Because on the flip side, you have plenty of people that heard what I said about going plant-based and vegan, and they have implemented some advice that I've spoken about, and they have changed their lifestyle. Again, don't give me the credit for that. You made the decision. You made the decision. I'm like the people that was about to jump off the cliff. The dude that probably helped them not jump off the cliff probably ain't tell them nothing new. You know what I'm saying? They just finally accepted what was said to them. Just like when I start talking about health information and things like that, it's nothing new under the sun. You've heard this before. But now when I said it, you finally decided to embrace the message. That's still on you. You made that decision. You made the choice to listen. So you talked yourself out of that. You know what I'm saying? Again, saving self. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do for sure. But again, I'm just talking about responsibility. We got to stop putting that responsibility on other people, especially family members and friends. Like we ain't like, man, we assuming that everybody in the circle of that person is mentally right and exact. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop expecting that. Got to stop expecting that, man. If a person follows through with something like that, man, what makes you think, what makes you assume that the family is all there mentally to where they are able to help that person? Man, we can't expect that. We can't expect the fam and everybody that's around them in their inner circle, they cipher. We can't expect for them to be mentally right and exact or mentally strong, man. They may just be as mentally weak as that person. You know what I'm saying? That may be a truth. So they may not be able to help that person. They may not know what to say to that person because they almost on the same type of frequency as that person. So we don't know the entire situation, the entire equation, man. We don't know all of what has happened. So a lot of people make assumptions. Oh, they was given all these signs. They was given all these red flags, whatever the case, whatever they want to call it. People just ignore them. Man, don't do that. Don't do that, man. People probably were not ignoring those signs, man. Again, and it's not really anybody else's responsibility to sit there and say, I'm going to watch their Facebook and I'm going to try to peep and identify the red flags or the signs in regards to this person's mental health. It's only so much you can do, man. It's only so much you can do before you drive yourself crazy when it comes to dealing with another person and their mental health. You're going to eventually drive yourself crazy and you're going to end up, your mental health will decline. Been there, done that. Trying to help somebody else somebody else out with their mental health, man. End up stressing yourself out because they won't listen. And then you done got to the point where you done helped them so much, you done went out of your way to help them, and they still follow through with it. Now you like, that man, I did all did it. That was like, you gonna feel like you done wasted all your life and your time. It's only so much you can do and say to a person, man. It's only so much you can do and say to a person when they are in that state of mind. I mean, you can't force a person to not do something. You know, so it's only so much you can literally do and say. I mean, that's just real. That's just real in the field. It's only so much you can do and say, man, before you start tapping into your own mental health. Before you start stressing yourself out. It's only so much you can do. Man, just RIP to that particular situation, man. Now that's crazy. Now that's crazy. Yeah, just, and she, again, people thinking that she going to work. It's like you can't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just looking at that, like, people thinking that she going to work. You know what I'm saying? People ain't, it's just hard. Like, if you thinking that somebody's going to work every day and they not, how you supposed to feel guilty? You didn't know. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know. You found out after the fact. And a lot of times stuff like that is happening. You finding out stuff after the fact. That's a big sign right there. If you knew a person wasn't going to work, you like, oh man, hold on, we got to talk about this. But when people are keeping things concealed from you, then you don't even know. You don't know how deep the problem is because they're not revealing everything to you. You know what I'm saying? And then now people trying to make you feel guilty because you should have asked more questions. But it's like, man, you think it's somebody going to work. I mean, they carrying out the same routine almost every day. So you thinking nothing of it. Then when something happens, the truth comes out. And now people saying, well, you should have asked more questions. You should have did X, Y, and Z, man. But it's like in the moment, you're not thinking to do that because everything is appearing to be semi-normal to you. Oh, they going to work. They may just be having rough days at work. You know what I'm saying? Just like the next person, they crying, like you are associating all of that with so-called the norm of dealing with the stresses of society. So that's why she probably was feeling like, all right, man, maybe she'll talk to me later. She just going through something right now because we didn't seen this type of breakdown before. So you don't know how deep the situation is, you know, and it's hard to know how deep the situation is if the person ain't telling you. How many times, especially as black men, FSWPs, how many times as men have somebody ask you how you feeling and you just said good? At that moment, you could have revealed more, especially if you're not good. But if you keep telling people that you're good and you're not, then it's like people not really going to know. And again, it's nobody else's job to continue to ask you how you feeling so that they can get down to the truth of how you really feeling. That's on you, man. Somebody did their job and they asked you how you were feeling and you just said good. You chose your reply at that point. So you can't get upset with anybody else for not trying to dig deeper into how you was feeling. Jesse, peace. What's happening? Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of times it is the messenger, man. Especially when you're about to do something that you know you really shouldn't be doing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's the messenger for sure. Air view for sure, 100%, man. It's always we trying to blame, and it's like that's unnecessary because, like I said, all the people that's close to that situation, they're gonna already feel some type of way naturally. So the last thing they need is some people on the outside to be making assumptions like nobody cared about such and such. They was identifying or displaying all these signs like, dude, the family already naturally gonna feel like, man, I could have did more. I should have been on such and such more. That's a natural feeling. If you got anybody in your life right now that commits that act to themselves, then your natural feeling is, man, I should have talked to him a little more. You're gonna naturally feel like that way. So the last thing you need is people on the outside trying to tell you that, trying to make you feel worse about that situation. Oh, Jay, for sure. Accountability is big, man. I'm all about accountability. Accountability is big. Accountability is big. And again, we don't like to hold ourselves accountable, man. Again, we making decisions, man. It's all about decisions at the end of the day. It's all about decisions. It's literally all about decisions, man. I'm telling you, We all fighting our demons. We all going through some things, man. A lot of us are depressed, man. A lot of us are just mentally exhausted. That's the case with a lot of people. Some people can handle it. Some people cannot handle it. I'm not saying the people that can handle it or the stronger, weaker, whatever the case may be, to the people that can't handle it, it's just a reality. Some people can't handle it, and some of the people that can't handle it, they choose to take drastic measures like ending their own life and whatnot. That's a reality of the situation, man. That's a reality of the situation. But you hard pressed to find me somebody that's 100% a-okay with how life is turning out for them, that ain't battling some type of demon. You know what I'm saying? That didn't experience some type of traumatic experience or event in life that has messed them up mentally. We all going through it, man. We all going through it. We all going through it. Your depression ain't bigger than the next person's depression. You know what I'm saying? Your mental health ain't more important than the next person's mental health. What you going through ain't bigger than what the next person is going through. Again, whatever problems that you may be facing in life, I guarantee you, when you really look at it, when you look at it on a macro scale, I guarantee you it's somebody that wishes they had your problems. Guarantee you. Guarantee you, no matter what you are going through, I guarantee you it's somebody that wish that that's all they had to deal with. You got to start looking at life in that type of light, man. It's somebody that wishes they had your problems. Somebody that's looking at your problems like, man, that's all you got to deal with. I wish I had those problems. Wish I had. Cultivator of Sports, peace. What's happening? What's happening? Justin, peace. You already know how I go. Jesse, for sure. Sometimes it's all about how the question is worded. You know what I'm saying? And that's the fact. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, a lot of times, people that's going through some things, a lot of us, we choose not to reveal most of what we are going through. You may not feel like talking about it at the time. You may not want people in your business, whatever your reasoning is. But a lot of us, we keep things concealed. We keep things suppressed. We don't want to discuss it. And that's essentially what leads to a decision like that. That's how the depression, that's how that negative energy consumes you. You know what I'm saying? When you suppress it, when you bury it, when you do not want to deal with it, when you do not want to release it, let it out and express it. That's what tends to happen. That's what tends to happen. That's what I'm saying, man. I can't stand that. That's why I say people using this stuff as a crutch. You know what I'm saying? We use too much as a crutch, man. We using traumatic experiences and like we using all of that as a crutch. And then we like to compare it to the next person and what they going through. Like, that's childish to me. Man, don't compare what you going through to what I'm going through and then make it look like what you going through is up here and what I'm going through is down here. Like, that's trash, man. That's trash. We are all different individuals, man. What I'm going through may be small to you, but it may be major to me. So you ain't able to tell me what I'm going through ain't nothing in light compared to what you going through, man. Because again, I'm going through it in the way I'm going through it. It may be affecting me in a different way than if you were going through it. So again, we like to compare and contrast struggles and things along those lines. But we only like to compare and contrast struggles when it comes to people that we feel like got it better than us. That's why I said what I said a few minutes ago. Compare your struggle to somebody that's got it worse. See, people don't do that. We like to compare our struggle to people who we feel like got it better than we do. No, compare your struggle to somebody that got it way worse than you. Do that. Deal in equality. So if you're going to sit here and compare your problems to somebody that you feel like, oh, that's light. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be complaining about that. Compare your problems to somebody that got it completely worse than you do. See, we pick and choose when we want to compare and contrast our troubles and problems and our mental health and things like that. Compare and contrast. We want to compare ourselves to people that we feel like got it better, not the people that we feel like got it worse. Because then when you look at somebody's situation and they got it worse than you, now you're going to have to hold yourself accountable. Now you're going to have to slap your face. You're going to have to slap yourself in the face with that reality check like that, man. It's such and so they going through all of this over there. Man, what I'm going through is light. I've had to do that to myself. Man, I done tried and chopped it up with people, man, and then they start revealing what they going through. I'm like, man, I forgot what I even was complaining about this morning because what they hit me with was so deep and crazy. I'm like, man, what they going through is ridiculous. I'm glad I'm not having to deal with what they having to deal with. So I'm thankful for my little problems, man. I done had plenty of conversations like that. I done had plenty of reality checks like that. Like, man, whoa, they going through the whole nine over there, man. I'm cool with my little problems over here. I'm gonna stop complaining. I done been slapped with plenty of reality checks that reflect that. I done been in plenty of situations like that, man, where I chopped it up with a person and I had to go ahead and stop complaining for the rest of the day. Yeah, Airview, for sure. For sure. You know what I'm saying? They gonna ignore it, but even sometimes when you not necessarily strong, man, people still gonna ignore it. And you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, again, people going through their own situations, people dealing with their own traumas and problems. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times people ignore it, and they may ignore it in the sense of, man, they really don't know what to say to you because they going through some things and everything ain't good on their end. So they probably just don't know how to communicate with you in that regards, man. So it's like, man, they'd rather you see a professional or something because they don't know what to say. So again, a lot of people be expecting people, man. I didn't been in situations, man. I have been in situations where it's like people are suggesting that I reach out to certain family members in regards to a certain situation. I'm like, man, y'all got the wrong person, man. I'm not that dude's all the time, man. I don't know what to say to such and such, but they placing that burden on me. Like, man, that ain't my responsibility to reach out to such and such and get their head on straight. First of all, I'm not the parent in that situation, man. I'm like the cousin or whoever the case may be, man. That's just not my responsibility, man. I don't know what to say to that person. I don't feel like I'm in my right mental state to have a conversation with that person right now. You know what I'm saying? So we got to stop trying to push people on people that's dealing with stuff, man. That's stressful. That is stressful, man. So you got a person in your family that's dealing with they acting out or whatever it is they doing, then you call your reliable or strong family member, you try to encourage them to talk to such and such. Man, that's stressful. That's stressful, man. Maybe I'm not in my right mental state to have that conversation with my cousin. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not there mentally. Maybe I don't want to have that conversation because I don't feel right internally myself. So I don't feel like I have the best of advice right now to give. But now you putting the pressure on me. Say, man, they acting out, man. They need your guidance. They need you. You need to talk to them. You need to tell them. You need to tell them something. Why can't you tell them something? What makes you think I'm ready? You know what I'm saying? What makes you think I'm equipped at this point in time? You don't know what I'm going through. You didn't ask me how my day was. You didn't ask me how I'm feeling toward the situation. You just assuming. You just making an assumption. DJ Elmo Peace and Jay, man, for sure. We all have them. I'm telling you, man, we all have them, man. RBG, man, appreciate that cash out, man. But we all have them, man. We all have things that we dealing with, man. Literally, man. We all have been through some things, and we all gonna still go through some things. I mean, that's just an actual fact of life. So the last thing I need in my life is for somebody to try to make me feel guilty for a decision that somebody else made. It's messed up they made the decision. It's messed up they followed through with the act. It's all messed up. I'm not sitting here acting like I'm just I lack the compassion for the people that do these type of things. It's not that. What I'm saying is, man, that's just not my responsibility. It's not anyone else's responsibility. And most of the time, people have done their duty. They have talked to these people. A lot of people have had conversations with these people. A lot of people have expressed their love for these people. A lot of people have shown their love for these people. And these people still made the decision to do what they felt was necessary or what they felt was the best decision to them. And a lot of times when those people have their minds made up, they are going to follow through with the act, no matter what you tell them. So even if you are having conversations with people that are going through this type of stuff mentally and they still follow through with the act, what I'm telling you is to not feel guilty because you did what you can do. You did what you can do. You talked to this person. You chopped it up with them. You expressed your love. You showed your love. You did what you could do. Do not feel guilty if they still feel the need to follow through with an act because they already had their mind made up more than likely. So don't feel guilty. Don't feel bad because, again, now you may end up in the same mental state as said person. Don't let that affect you like that. You cannot force anybody. Contrary to popular belief, you cannot force anybody to make a decision like that. You can't force them. You can't hold a gun in their head telling them, hey, don't follow through with this, because the moment you pull that gun from their head, fall asleep, then they gonna follow through with it. Man, they gonna follow through with what they had it in their mind to do. They're gonna follow through with it. Jay, for sure, man. Your environment is everything. Your surroundings are everything. Gotta do that. Gotta do that. Just, yeah, man, for sure. And that's the thing. Like, when you are the one that's perceived as strong, like, man, again, it's almost like, let's just say you the strong one in the family. It's almost like literally, it's almost like you responsible for everybody's mental condition in the family when people feel like you the strong one. Like, they calling you, laying all their problems on. How many of y'all done been there, done that, man? Somebody drilling you, everybody just drilling you. You getting problems from all different angles. But it's like, ain't nobody really tried to dig deep into your problems. It's like, man, everybody presenting you with the problems because they feel like, all right, you good. You can handle this. You know what I'm saying? Problem after problem after problem from every different angle. And you haven't expressed your problems in one different direction, in one direction. Man, that'll take a toll on you. That'll take a toll on a person. That'll take a toll on a person. Akuma Peace, what's happening? What's happening, my brother? Just for sure. Which for sure. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing too. I didn't have, man, I'm telling, like, it's draining. Listen, it's draining dealing with, not dealing with, but it's draining trying to help a person cope with mental health, especially when that's not your line, like, that's not your line of work. Like, you don't wake up every day with the objective to help somebody get through their mental health. Like, when that's not what you do, it's draining trying to do it. It's draining trying to thinking you're responsible for it. Because, and this is why I say it's draining, because you might give this person some good jewels, man, some good advice, some good things to do. And on a day-to-day basis, you keep asking them, did you do such and such? Like, for instance, what Just said, when I feel down like that, I ask myself, what am I grateful for in this moment? That typically straightens me up. Now, just take that piece of advice. Now, let's say you got somebody that's dealing with some mental health and they come to you for that advice and you give them that, you tell them to do that. You know what I'm saying? When you feeling down, ask yourself, what am I grateful for? That will help you. That should help you. And you tell them to do that. You suggest they do it, but they do not do it. And you continue to tell them every day they just not doing it. Yet they want to continue to come to you and complain about life. Like, that's when it gets draining. It's like, man, I have given you several things to do. I've given you a way to eat that will help you with your mental health. I've given you practices to implement. At some point, you're gonna have to cut it off. Like, you listen, we're not about to keep complaining about life every day when I have given you things to do. Either you about to take the things that I've given you and at least try to better yourself, or we're gonna have to stop having these conversations. I can't tolerate having those conversations every day, especially when I'm a solution type person. Like, man, I'm going to give you things to do that's going to help you with that condition. What we not going to sit around and do is complain about life every day. All right, you got the stuff off your chest, you vent it. I don't let you vent for 3 to 5 days, maybe a week, 2 weeks, a month, however long I let you vent. I let you vent that long. Now I've given you things to implement. If you continue to choose not to implement those things, then we're going to have to stop talking about this situation, because now at this point, you choosing to be in this state. You choosing to be in this state. And I've been there, done that with too many people. It's like, man, I told, hey, don't eat this, like, do this practice, work out, exercise, hit the bag, do this X, Y, and Z. This will help you with your emotional health, your mental health. Then the person come back weeks later, months later, still complaining about the same situation. I'm like, well, did you change? Did you start eating more of this? Did you start exercising? Did you start journaling? They be like, well, no, I didn't start doing any of that. It's like, see, okay, at this point, now you just choosing it. Because, again, I tried to help you. And then with a person like that, with a lot of people like that, because I've been around them, a lot of people like that want to swear up and down that people not trying to help them. They want to swear up and down, man, people ain't trying to help me. Nope. I've been a part of that. I've been a part of people saying that people ain't trying to help them out here. I've supported people like that. I've supported people that swear up and down that don't nobody support them. I've tried to help people that people swear up and down don't try to help them. I done helped and supported these people. I done helped and supported them. But they want to act like nobody supports them. Nobody is out there to help them. No, you chose to ignore the support and the help. And this is why I say people use it as a crutch. It's like people sometimes do this, use depression as a way to get attention. Because I've literally went out of my way to support people that are dealing with things like depression, and they swear up and down or talk about their mental health. I done went out of my way to support them, drop jewels with them, chop it up with them, and they swear up and down they have nobody. They have nobody that's trying to help. Nah, what you're not gonna do is disrespect my attempt to help you. That's what you're not gonna do. You're not gonna act like, nah, ain't nobody trying to help me. Nah, especially when I didn't went out of my way to do it. You're not about to do that. And there's people that do that, man. It's people that do that. They choose to ignore your help and your support, and they want to swear up and down. They want to play the victim, and they want to act like there's nobody out here that's supporting them. They want to act like there's nobody out here that's willing to help them. They want to act like there's nobody out here that's willing to listen. Stop lying. Stop lying. Most of the time, a lot of the times, that is a lie. For sure, just and again, I don't want people to interpret this as not being an advocate of mental health. All I'm advocating is my mental health is not the responsibility of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It's not. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for any help that I receive from other people in regards to boosting my mental health. I'm always grateful for that. But at the end of the day, my mental health is called my mental health for a reason. It's my responsibility, and it's nobody else's responsibility. And I'm not going to put that responsibility into anybody else's hands and make them feel guilty for a decision that I make based off of the condition of my mental state. You know what I'm saying? It's my responsibility at the end of the day. It's my responsibility. You know what I'm saying? If life get too tragic for me and I can't handle it, that's a decision that I made. I'm not going to make anybody else feel guilty for that decision. At least I'm going to strive not to. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not anybody else's responsibility. It is literally just not. You know what I'm saying? It's my mental health. It's my mental health. Just like it's my physical health. Nobody else's physical health is my responsibility. And again, I'm a trainer. So you know what I'm saying? That's my field. But that's still not my responsibility. I can't be with these people 24/7 to make sure they eating clean. I can give them the information. I can put them through the workouts. But at the end of the day, when they leave me, they making their own decisions. And a lot of times people making the wrong decisions when it comes to the physical health. So a lot of times people do that with the mental because it's a lot of factors to consider. And I understand all of that. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's why I'm battling every day with the mental. I'm battling every day with the mental, man. I've been conditioned with some bad habits just like everybody else. So I'm always wrestling. I'm always fighting. I'm always trying to get myself balanced and centered. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's hard for me to look out for somebody else and be responsible for somebody else's mental health, because I'm always trying to balance mine. I'm always trying to be in that centered state. I'm always trying to activate that peace. Like I'm always striving for those things. So again, mental health is important, but you got to understand it's your mental health. So you got to want to do better and be better in order for anybody else to be able to even tap in with you to help you. You got to be open enough, man. You got to be willing to receive the help and embrace the help and accept the help. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I advocate for the mental health. Like it's literally on you. It's literally on you. You know what I'm saying? If you got to be able to look around and see, man, I got this, I got a child, I got a kid. They are dependent upon me. I got to stick around for this kid. I got to stick around for this baby. You got to be able to do that. You got to be able to do that. That's you. That's you. So you are responsible for your mental health. Point blank, period. You are responsible for it. You are responsible for it. It's nobody else's duty. It's nobody else's job. Nobody else's duty is nobody else's job, man. That's all on you. Condition of your mental health is all on you. It's all on you. Akuma for sure is definitely contagious. Clocks in for sure. For sure. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, that's exactly what I'm saying, man. Like, a lot of times I simply lack the energy to deal with my own problems. So the last thing I'm trying to do is deal with somebody else's problem. Man, I'm like, I don't even feel like facing mine right now. Like, I'm being lazy towards my own problems. I got to muster up this energy. And a lot of times, too, that's what causes people to suppress their problems, man, because they are disseminating all this energy in regards to helping everybody else. You already know what you're going to end up doing. You're going to have to sacrifice yourself. You're going to have to sacrifice your mental health because you're trying to help everybody else. You're trying to help everybody else and you have not helped yourself. So when you go to sleep, you're like, that, man, I spent this whole day helping other people with their problems. What did I do for myself? Absolutely nothing. And what's more important? You out here saving everybody, and then you about to self-destruct. What's the point? Because you did all this helping. Then when you self-destruct, now everybody finna be like, "Dang, man, they was helping me. This person was such a good person that I didn't even see it because I was so focused on my own problem." Now they gonna go right back to their negative state because you helped them the whole while you was self-destructing and they ain't even realize it. So then they gonna feel guilty. So you just got to make sure you right and exact and you on point before you go out here trying to save others, because you're gonna have to sacrifice yourself. You know what I'm saying? There's no way to go about it, man. If you about to go out here and make it a habit to help any and everybody that comes your way, you got to make sure you on point internally and mentally, because you're gonna have to sacrifice. You're gonna have to neglect yourself. You're gonna have to be selfless if that's what you're about to do. If that's the mission you're about to take on, helping everybody that comes your way with problems, make sure you on point mentally and physically, because it's gonna get draining and you're gonna have to neglect yourself. Jeff, man, I know how that go. I know how that go, man. Everybody just bam hitting you with problems because they think you the one. They think you the one. It's just like people on the outside looking in. They think I'm the one. Man, you vegan. You got the discipline. You got X, Y, and Z. You good, dude? No, like even if I am good, so what? That don't mean I want to be dealing with problems all day. I don't want to be dealing with things that's tapping into my peace all day. You know what I'm saying? So just because I may appear to be good, don't mean that I want to deal with a bunch of problems all day. Just for sure. Definitely do what works for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it's about. Do what works for you. Do what works for you. But my thing is just do something. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit around and just complain all day and act like the world is against you. Nobody is there for you. I mean, I have seen situations where people are swearing up and down that nobody is there for, and they have whole kids that love them. Like, dude, like your kids are like, what do you mean? Like, you just ignoring the love that's right in front of your face. Like, don't do that. Like, please don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that makes it that much worse if you follow through with something like that, because now you just ignoring the love that's right in your face, and that's gonna make the people that's left behind feel that much worse. Like, dude, they was out here showing you love the best way that they knew how, and you just ignored it. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, man, just do something for the mental. Don't just neglect it. Do something for the mental, just like you should be doing something for the physical. Just do something for it, though. Do something. Do something. Do something to try to help yourself out of that state. Just do something. Jay, I'm telling you, it's draining to the point where you got to get a little heartless with it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? As heartless as it may sound, sometimes, man, you just gotta you gotta. When it comes to being that strong, man, unfortunately, sometimes you do have to just cut people off, because again, when you just allow everybody to bring their problems your way, that is exactly what they will do. They will take advantage of that. They will take advantage of that. Just like if you helping out everybody, they're gonna take advantage of that. All right, man. Every time I reach out to such and such, he give me some money, he helped me out. Then guess what? You're gonna have 2 or 3 more cousins start hitting you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna eventually end up helping everybody out, man. So you got to be mindful with that type of stuff, man, because again, everybody gonna start coming your way and they not gonna let up. They not gonna once think that, hey, man, everybody hitting dude up for these problems, maybe we should hit. No, they not gonna do that. Self-preservation is the first law of nature, man. So people ain't gonna be thinking about you while they trying to get some stuff off their chest. Or RBG for sure, man. Money just magnifies who a person is, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't gonna and that's another thing too. What gets me when people see so-called rich people or like athletes, entertainers, and they see that they kill themselves, things like that, commit suicide. Like, when they hear about people with money commit suicide, they be like, well, dad, why did such and such do that? What if they had to complain about? They had all of this money. Dude, money don't necessarily just automatically make one happy. Like, that person is dealing with all type of problems that's bigger than the money. That's bigger than the little green bill. That's bigger than what's in their bank account, man. So stop assuming that because somebody is so-called well off financially that they are well off mentally. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that at all. Ruben, peace. What's the word? Maurice, peace. What's happening? Lorenzo, my brother, appreciate that donation. You say the Caucasian narrative of mental health is the crutch because psychologically our people have been going off their narratives over our own people, and we are living the results out now for sure. Over 400 plus years. And that's why I say, man, if you black and you in America, man, you like depression is almost you almost born in depression. You know what I'm saying? If you black in the wilderness of North America, you just born. You born under trauma, like more than life. You born into it. Like you born into a traumatic experience already before you are able to walk, utter a word, before you were even able to cry. Like you born into trauma. You born into it. You know what I'm saying? You born into it. You born into it. So we automatically out of the womb, we are in a state where we got to try to fix ourselves, where we got to try to balance ourselves out. We born into all type of problems. Just being black in America, like that's just a fact. Consu, peace. What's the word, man? Everybody that's just now tapping in, peace, man. I can't get everybody, but peace. What's the word? Let me see. Sanko Garvey, you say, what about family members who make you feel bad about yourself, struggling with mental health because they have to get up and face the world? At the end of the day, and again, that sounds harsh, what they are saying, but at the end of the day, you got to accept that reality. You got to accept that statement. You got to accept it. Now, them trying to make you feel bad about it, that's when you got to just stop having a conversation. And that's when you got to realize, again, it's your mental health. So when you interact with a person that obviously they're not trying to hear your problems, then you got to cut off communication with said person. As I think who's that? Jay said, you got to surround yourself with positive people. You got to surround yourself with better people. So if you talking to a person and they trying to make you feel bad about going through something, then that's not the type of person that you need in your cipher, in your inner circle. So you got to disconnect from that person. You need better energy around you. That ain't the energy that you need. So if you got anybody that's around you that's striving to make you feel bad for how you feeling about life and yourself, disconnect. Don't continue to entertain that person. Don't continue to interact with that person because they didn't already let you know that, hey, I'm not trying to hear that. I got my own problems. Don't have a conversation with that person. If you looking for somebody on the outside to lean on and you try to lean on a person and they automatically writing you off saying, hey, they're giving you the cold shoulder, then you disconnect. Talk to somebody else. Find somebody else. There's plenty of people that you can chop it up with, especially in 2021 because we have social media. Plenty of people that can relate to you. Plenty of people that's dealing with some of the same things you're dealing with. So it's plenty of people you can vibe with and connect with. So if you're trying to chop it up with a family member and they giving you the cold shoulder instantly saying, man, hey, I don't got time to be dealing with your problems. I got other stuff I'm dealing with. Move on. You got to accept that. You got to accept that. Don't continue to entertain that person. Don't continue to interact with that person. Don't even continue to listen to what that person is saying in reference to your mental health, mental condition. Don't even entertain them. Find you somebody else to confide in. Period. Antoinette, peace queen, what's happening? Point blank, man. Just point blank. Find you somebody else to confide in. Yeah, man, just for sure. I'm telling you. That's why people get upset with me. People get upset with me when they talk about reparations and black people. I'm like, to me, reparations, listen, if they just gave black people some money, no, like that's not going to solve any problem for black people out the gate because we're not educated. First of all, the financial literacy is low amongst black people. So first of all, we need to be educated. Secondly, we got a lot of problems that we have not healed from. So when you give us money a lot, we're going to get that money right back to the folks that oppressed us. We're going to get the money right back to the folks that we was begging to give us that money. We're going to get the money right back to them, man, because again, we traumatized. We lack the discipline. We lack the financial literacy. So to me, initially, reparations in regards to them giving us a lump sum of money, that's not going to solve anything. If anything, it's probably going to make matters worse for us. We're going to start spending that money on a bunch of destructive things, a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of materials that's not going to help us mentally nor physically. That's what's going to happen. Right now, today, what is it? October 21st, Thursday, October 21st. If at 3:21, all black people got a few $1 million into their account, we finna go crazy. We about to splurge on some nonsense, and we not about to do what's right with that money because we lack the education, we lack the discipline, we traumatized. We about to go indulge in some nonsense, some toxic behavior, and we about to go buy a bunch of nonsense that has no value or adds no value to our lives. That's what we gonna do initially. So people talk about reparations like that's gonna solve problems. Nope. They ain't gonna solve, it ain't gonna solve much for black people, man. They ain't gonna solve much, man. We need the education, we need the literacy. That's what we need first. Then you give us that. Then you give us that. Because if anything, we just, again, we're gonna continue to enrich them. So they give us the money, we give it right back. Like literally. Oh, Fetty, for sure. That's not gonna be everybody, but I'm talking about collectively. You know how your people are, and the reason why I know this so good is because I worked at the bank. Working in banking, I seen what people, as we know. See, we talk about our condition financially. Black people, like black people in America, we are listen, we are a very wealthy group of people. The problem is we don't spend money amongst ourselves. So we not broke. You know what I'm saying? We are not broke at all. Collectively, black people in America, we make a ton of money. We generate a ton of revenue. Hence why all these other ethnic groups try to set up shop in our communities. So we are very wealthy collectively. The problem is how the dollar circulates, how the black dollar circulates. So we make a lot of money, but what do we have to show for it? We generate a lot of income, a lot of revenue, but what do we have collectively to show for it? Absolutely nothing. In a country that we built, in a country that wouldn't be what it is today without our ancestors, blood, sweat, and tears. So collectively, we don't have anything to show for that. And we make a lot of money. We make a lot of money. Hence why if that Arab comes over here and like, man, I need to set up a beauty, I'm going to the black neighborhood. If that Asian come over here and say, I'm gonna open up a rice shop and I'm gonna go on the black side of town. That's why they do that. Because they know we make a lot of money. We just lack the discipline in regards to how we spend it. We gonna splurge. We gonna buy it. We gonna buy the weeds. We gonna buy everything out the beauty supply. We gonna buy this fried rice that they don't even eat, but they selling it to us. We gonna do that. We gonna do it. Sade Love, you say, what are some good businesses or institutions should we open as black people that will help us and our children? Oh man, listen, I'm in the process of gyms, so we need to have fitness centers, black fitness centers. We need to have black libraries because I'm tired. You know what's crazy? A lot of our artifacts from our ancestors back in the day, back in Africa, end up in British museums. First of all, we need to have our own type of museums and libraries so we can take our artifacts back and we can place them in our own museum so we can teach our history the correct way. We end up with all these artifacts and they end up in British museums and the Vatican, things like that, things that are not controlled and owned by our people. So first of all, we need museums, we need our own libraries, we need our own schools, we need our own gyms, we need our own hospitals or holistic facilities, whatever you want to refer to it as. We need our own all of that. We need our own everything, man. Like whatever you can name and think of, we need our own that. You know what I'm saying? We need our own like auto mechanic shops, auto repair shops. We need our own everything. We need to take every industry. We need our own in that industry. Everything. Fetty for sure. Man, big time financially illiterate. And it's sad, man. I'm telling you, I've watched people, man, just take money and just do the wrong thing with the funds. You know what I mean? Like they getting big incomes, tax returns, and they just splurging, buying the wrong things, buying things that don't have no value. Now, again, that's not everybody, but it's enough. It's enough people that's doing that. And it's crazy. It's like, dude, you could take this money, you can invest it, and then this money, it's gonna add value. This money gonna make money for you, make your money work for you. People don't be understanding that concept. People don't understand that concept. But man, hey, we need, like Sade, we need our own. Listen, we need our own internet. Like we need our own everything. We need our own everything. We need our own everything, our own media, our own internet, like everything on top of what I already had suggested. We need our own everything. Listen, every industry that exists, we need a black version of it. We need ownership in it because we got brilliant minds in all these industries. So it ain't no reason why we couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? But we like to take our talents and we like to make other people rich using our skills, talents, and intelligence. Gotta stop doing that. Gotta stop doing that. Hey, just coming through with the recommendations. We're gonna put them on the screen. Just coming through with the recommendations. Oh, cool, man. People took the stimulus, and I mean, I watched people because I was semi in the bank. I was just on my way out the bank when a lot of people got hit with the stimulus, and I seen what people were purchasing with the stimulus money. And most of the time, people were not doing what's right with it. There was a few people. You know what I'm saying, there was some people, young and old, that was doing what was right and exact with that money. But for the most part, people were splurging with that money and the PPP loans. I seen business owners take that PPP money and do the wrong thing with that money. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I think I missed the book. Yeah, okay, there goes just right there. That's the first book, I think. But yeah, that is terrible. I done seen people do the wrong things with the funds out here. You know what I'm saying? It's terrible. Lacking the discipline. And then we want to cry about our financial condition. It's like, dude, you took this money and you chose to do what was wrong with it. Now you crying about your financial situation. Nobody told you to go splurge on that money. Nobody told you to not pay your rent. Like, nobody told you to do that. They told you, all right, we're not going to evict you for not paying your rent. And then you chose to do it whole while knowing good and well that didn't mean that they weren't going to come after you. So you made that decision, man. Nobody forced you to do that. Nobody tricked you into making that type of decision. Shawty Love, you say, do you think a financial literacy school would be good for teaching children about finance? Because I think that the school system is not teaching. Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%. 100%. Like that, the financial literacy should be, that's something that you should be teaching them as soon as they're able to understand. As soon as they're able to speak, you should be showing them what it means to be financially literate. You know what I'm saying? Letting them know how to save the money, go to the bank, build businesses, be owners, be bosses, all that type of stuff, man. Just show them how to do it, man. Show them how to make things work for them so they can end up working smarter and not harder. You know what I'm saying? We didn't did all the working hard for them. We didn't did all of that. Like, that's what we didn't did. We didn't sacrifice. We didn't put in the hard work, the long hours. They're not supposed to follow in our footsteps. Teach them how to work smarter. It's all about working smarter, man. That's how we supposed to evolve, so we can control our time. A lot of the problem revolves around us not being able to control our time because we are here working so much, so long, and so hard. So you want to set the next generation up to be better so they can have more control of their time. And the only way to have control of your time is to work smarter, not harder. When you working harder out here, man, your time is limited. Your time is limited. You don't have much time because you're always working. You're always working. So you not have much time, man. And that's the reality for a lot of people. So a lot of people want to do certain things, but it's like it's hard for them to find the time to do it because they always out here working, putting in work. I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get myself in a position to where it's like I'm working smarter and not hard. You know? That's the way that it should be, man. You know what I'm saying? That's these wealthy people, these wealthy white folks you study, man. They ain't really putting in a ton of work. They working smarter now. They got systems set up. They work on the business, not in the business type deal. You know what I'm saying? So the systems is putting in the work for them. They got automated systems set up that's doing the work for them. They don't have to do much. You know what I'm saying? That's working smarter. That's working smarter. So that's how we gotta move, man. That's how we gotta set things up, man. So we can work that same way. And that's gonna help with the mental health, man. A lot of us, the mental health is declining because, man, we on these jobs that we don't like. It's just like that is part of the problem, man. We waking up doing something every day that we cannot stand. We waking up going into an environment every day that we cannot stand. You know what I'm saying? So we got to find a way to change that environment, man. That'll do your mental some good. You know, if you waking up every day and you got to spend 8 or 9 or 10 hours at a place or places that you can't stand, that's getting on your nerves, man, that's not good. Eventually, you may self-destruct. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find a way to place yourself in an environment that's conducive to your overall health and well-being in regards to earning a living for yourself and your family. Find something that you can do that is less stressful mentally. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the worst thing, man, when you earning your living and it's a very stressful environment and you hate what you do and you got to go in there on a day-to-day basis. 1 or 2 days off. That ain't enough, man. You dealing with some 45, 50 hours a week and you don't like it. That's going to take a toll on you. Jade, man, you say I'm 16 young and still thinking about what your thoughts about college. Do you think trades are better? I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do. If what you are striving to do in life requires you to get some type of degree, by all means, go ahead and do it. Because at the end of the day, you can listen. At the end of the day, you can make things work for you. So if you just so happen to go to college, it's a way to make college work for you. I'm not the biggest fan of college simply because I don't feel like I needed it. I don't even feel like I know I didn't need it. I could have been doing exactly what it is that I'm doing now without college. You know what I'm saying? But if you didn't know what you wanted to do in life, then I would say a trade would be much better opposed to getting in that type of debt and you not even sure that you like want to do what it is that you're going to school for, or you just don't even know what you want to do. So if you uncertain about what you want to do with your life, then I would say learn a trade, because you can always fall back on that trade. You can always utilize that trade to generate some revenue and some income, so you would never go broke with that trade. You can definitely go broke with that degree. If you go broke with the trade, that's pretty much almost your fault, because it's something that you know how to do, and you can literally find ways to do that on your own without somebody having to employ you. You know, so if you lack the certainty in regards to what it is that you want to do with your life, I would say find a trade. Just learn how to do something. I would say learn how to do something anyway, whether you go to school or not. Just learn a trade, period. Because again, that's always something you can fall back on. You can always fall back on that trade, man. If you become an electrical engineer, like there's no way that you're about to be out here broke, man. That's something that you can always find, where you can always find that type of work. It's just gonna be how bad do you want it. You learn how to become a plumber or something. Like you can always find some work. It's just how bad do you want to do it. You learn how to cut hair. People need haircuts. Like it's just how bad do you want it. Like just learning how to do something that's valuable, that adds value. You know what I mean? So like you can always fall back on that stuff, always. But again, if you lack in certainty, then of course I would say the trade is the best way to go. But if you know exactly what it is that you want to do, and you got a game plan, you got a formula, and that formula requires you to go to school, then by all means, go ahead and do it. If it's right in line with your mission, you know what I'm saying? If it's part of the process, if it's part of the formula, if it's part of the ingredients for your success to go to school, go ahead. Go ahead. But if you don't know, if you kind of lost, learn a trade. Learn a trade. And even still, like I said, learn a trade anyway. Learn a trade. Like I wish I would have taken that advice. So hey, you 16, you could be with. I wish I would have been like, man, I'm just gonna learn how to do something first. Then if I like the thing about college will always be there at the end of the day. So I feel like honestly, we should be learning trades first. Then if you want to go to school, you can go back. But learn that trade. Listen, learn that trade first. Learn that trade first, man. You can always, man, plenty of people, man, they 50, 60 and they graduate college. You can go back to college whenever you want to. You can enroll in school whenever you want to. You can always do that. You can always do that, man. So hey, college is a little overrated. It's a little overrated for the people that don't know what they want to do with their lives. Like if you don't know what you want to do, like learn a trade. Just learn a trade. Oh, Antoinette, man, I definitely can relate to that. Man, my pops was in the military and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? He got a real good skill, something that he learned how to do. I'm like, man, hindsight, I'm like, I just would have taken, I wouldn't have went to the military, no. But I would have, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have did that. That wasn't something that I had on my bucket list to do. But I definitely would have just learned a skill or a trade, like easily. Like I would have, if I'm looking back at it now, hindsight type deal, I would have easily just learned how to do something like electrical engineer, just something. I would have just got certified, qualified to do that. Would have been good. Would have been good. Then if I wanted to go back to school, I just would have did it. But then I would have did it on my terms, and I wouldn't have accumulated all this debt doing it. Like I would have worked smarter. I wouldn't have accumulated the debt first and then tried to Like I would have been like, all right, I'm finna learn this trade. I'm gonna generate this revenue. Then if I want to go back to school, then I'm gonna do it. Yeah, if not, who cares? Percy, my brother, appreciate that donation. You say I make a blue collar truck driver. Say if you can do both, degree in trade, but don't come out of college 100K in debt. Don't go for the fancy school. And that's the thing. Forget 100. Don't even come out that joint 50K in debt, especially if you don't have no game plan. That's the worst thing, man, to come out of college with any type of debt and you feel like this ain't even something that you want to do. You essentially just wasted time and money. So really, man, figure it out. Have a game plan. Like, all right, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and figure out the formula. So in order for me to do X, Y, and Z, I gotta go to school. But if you got a formula figured out and you able to execute on that plan without having to get that degree, by all means, execute that plan. And if you, like I said, if you want to go to school just to say you did it, 10, 15 years later, go ahead and do it. But figure out your game plan. Figure out what it is that you want to do first and foremost. Oh, just for sure, man. It was crazy to show y'all how much they tapped in and how much they be listening. I just got a text about my student loans. Right as I'm talking about it, I literally got one of them random texts about my student loans. You know what I'm saying? Like, that let you know they tapped in. That let you know that they tapped in. I literally just started talking about it here, and my phone vibrates, and it's talking about the student loan payment reminder when the payments restart. So that lets you know. That lets you know that they tapped in, man. All of a sudden, I haven't got a text like that in how long? Now all of a sudden I get a random text talking about the student loan repayments. They be tapped in, man, and they want to act like these phones don't be listening. Come on, man. The phone listen to everything I'm saying. How I randomly get that text. You know what I'm saying? I got that text after talking about the student loans. Now, when I was talking about the other stuff that I was talking about earlier, but right when I started talking about student loans, then that's when my phone vibrates and they let me know about student loans, when my repayments start or when my payments restart. So they tapped in, man. They tapped in. They always tapped in, but then they want to say you a conspiracy nut and all that type of stuff. Nah, man. Oh, just man, don't even get me started. Like, don't even get me started on my 2 degrees. First of all, not even the amount that you know what I'm saying? First of all, you got to get into the field. You know what I'm saying? Like my 2 degrees, man, you got to be able to get into the field. They start telling you things like you lack experience and all of this, man. Like I lacked the experience because I was trying to focus on my education. Come on, man. You told me to focus on my education. I did that. Then I get penalized for focusing on my education. Now you tell me I lack experience. Well, I was trying to get my education on point. I was trying to make sure everything was on point from an education standpoint. Now you telling me I lack experience. So now I got to be penalized for focusing on my education, which is what you told me to do in the first place. Make up your mind. Teaching AI is big business, man. Big business. That's why I say if I could go back and do it again, no, sir. Wouldn't have went at all. Like I wouldn't have went at all. Like what I want to do in life don't revolve around a college degree. So I easily could have did what I wanted to do in life without it. Somebody else may not be able to say the same, but I know I could have easily navigated through life without a college degree, without my 2 degrees that I have. Like I literally have not ever worked in the field of my 2 degrees. Literally. Like I've literally never received a corporate job that reflected my 2 degrees. Not one. And I've applied for many, but I never received any position that reflected my 2 degrees. Like not one. You know what I'm saying? 2 degrees, man. Not one. Not one. Like every time it's the same old stuff. We have chosen a more qualified candidate. They don't get that automated email out of here. Nah, we just saw that you were black and we don't want to hire you for this position. Ah, yeah, Percy. Now that, yeah, Percy. Oh boy, we gonna let that one just sit up on the screen. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna let that one. Oh, Kuma, for sure, man. People be sleeping on the dudes out here in the streets. That's why I say, man, if the dudes out here on the streets took that mentality that they had, and they just, you know what I'm saying, they just pushed it towards more legal means, like them would be some dangerous business dudes, man. They be having some business acumen. A lot of them brothers are wise. A lot of them brothers read. You know what I'm saying? So when you got like a person that's out here in a drug game, man, that's not a dummy. Like a person that's at the head of an organ. Listen, you can't be in control of a lot of people like that and you not be smart. You not be wise. You know what I'm saying? Like them people be readers, man. They be avid readers. They be knowing what's going on from a business standpoint. They just implement that knowledge in illegal ways. You know what I'm saying? But if they took it and they applied it to legal means, legal matters, they'll be out here dangerous. They'll be good. Man, Tupac talked about that in Me Against the World. He talked about that, man. He talked about that. Me Against the World, man. Tupac, y'all know the song I'm talking about, man. When Tupac was venting at the end of a song and he was letting them know that, man, you could be an accountant and all that type of stuff, man. He was talking to the brothers in the streets that's good with the numbers. Like, you could be an accountant. Why you out here doing that? Like, Tupac let you know what was up. Tupac was letting you know what was up, man. Like, man, you could be an accountant, man. You out here, you good with these numbers. Like, take that and apply it to something that's legal. And then apply your hustle and grind with that legal, whatever it is that you adopted that's legal, that legal grind. Combine that with your hustle, your street hustle, that street mentality, man. You're going to be vicious out here. You're going to be unstoppable. Unstoppable, man. 100% unstoppable, man. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I got to tap out, man. I got a lot of sessions for tonight, so I got to head on up to this gym, man. I went over the hour that I told myself that I had, so I got to go make this move. I got to get out here in traffic, and people in the St. Louis area cannot drive, so, you know what I'm saying, there's always a wreck every time I'm driving because people can't drive, so I get caught in traffic. So I got to make my move, man. This was a nice build. I appreciate all the donations, man, all the comments, all the add-ons. Just Jay, I appreciate it. We appreciate the book recommendations, all that good stuff, man. So I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna try to tap back in with y'all tomorrow. If I'm not able to do it tomorrow, I'll probably be back Saturday. Either way, I'll be back one of these 2 days here. So y'all be easy out here, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Thursday. Make sure y'all eat some healthy foods, get y'all some rest, read some books, read some positive books. Meditate, do your affirmations, drink your water, stretch, all that good stuff, man. I'm out, y'all. Be easy. Peace.